You nervous? Hey,
Not open this door,
I'm
sir.
out here with Miss Cassandra.
Officers have just arrived at the getaway motel of 28-year-old Cassandra Douglas. For the last 24 hours, she and her brother have been on the run after 3 of their family members were found dead and burned in the desert.
99% this is either an animal or a person.
That looks like a human, dude.
And as these local officers prepare to confront the primary suspect of the most important case they've ever worked on, nothing could prepare them for the horrifying discoveries they're about to make.
Calls the police! Anyone inside, make yourself known!
This is a horrible nightmare.
What are we looking at here?
I don't know. You tell me.
This is one of the worst things that I've ever had to be involved with.
It's a routine Friday afternoon at the Otero County Sheriff's Office when dispatch begins receiving a series of unusual 911 calls from a young man.
Communications.
Hi, good morning. I'm hoping to file a police report, and I might need some assistance doing so.
Okay, and what's your first and last name?
Kane Mays.
Okay, and tell me what's going on.
I've been living abroad for the past 6 years,
Okay.
and I found out that my father died last year shortly after Christmas. I have recently returned home. I'm living in New Mexico again, and I was hoping to return to the family property. Since his passing, tons and tons of family possessions and property have all gone missing and have either been sold off, lost, or stolen, and I'm looking to reassume possession of the property, but there are people squatting in the house.
Do you know who these people are?
I do. I could give you first and last names, but not anything much else.
Kane goes on to clarify that the squatters inside his deceased father's property are actually family members, mainly his Uncle Victor, who allegedly took over the property and is living there with Kane's grandmother and his stepbrother. He also seemingly claims that his Uncle Victor has sold off valuable assets, including firearms and expensive jewelry belonging to his father. The dispatcher logs the information Kane provides and passes it along for legal follow-up. However, not long after this first contact, on a Monday morning in January 2025, Kane calls again. But this time, it's for something strangely different.
Dispatch.
Hi there. I was calling because I'm wondering, what would it take for me to request a wellness check on somebody?
A welfare check on...
My grandmother, Mary Mauser.
Okay. The sergeant is aware. They are on an emergency call right now. As soon as they're done, we'll head up there to do a welfare check.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, miss.
You're welcome.
A couple of hours after Kane requests a welfare check for his grandmother Mary, he calls police again for the third time to share new updates.
To La Rosa Communications, you're on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Hi, my name is Kane. I called earlier regarding wellness.
So Sergeant Nordquist is going to give you a call back. They have not responded there yet because they've been tied up with a warrant service where the person doesn't want to come out.
No, that's okay. We stopped by on our way down and everything is locked up tight. That's why I was returning your call, because you said that I should call you back.
All right.
And if they're tied up with an emergency,
Yes, sir.
we got to worry about the officers and make sure
Yes.
that they're still...
Thank you so much for understanding.
They don't need to be
Okay, I will let the sergeant know then.
Following this latest call from Kane, the welfare check is officially canceled, and officers are no longer dispatched to the property. At this point, the dispatcher has no reason to suspect anything other than some kind of family dispute, and the situation appears to have resolved itself for now. In reality, something far more calculated is already in motion, and the family involved will soon be implicated in a scheme that will lead detectives down one of the most twisted murder plots they've ever handled. That same Monday, a few hours after Kane's 911 calls, a man arrives at the police station in the afternoon with an oddly timed request.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Sergeant Nordquist.
Mike Blitz.
Mike, it's nice to meet you. How can I help you today?
Okay, well, my brother-in-law helps us take care of my mother-in-law.
Okay.
And he normally is very conscientious about showing up when he says he's going to show up and everything.
Yeah.
And we have this we schedule him. We've been taking care of my mother-in-law for 7 years.
Okay.
She's 93 years old. So anyway, we normally communicate quite a bit during the week and stuff,
So, are you wanting to check on him or your mother-in-law?
No, on him.
He lives on No-Gal.
Yes.
And somebody had called earlier. We were out busy, but someone had called in for a welfare check, but they canceled us prior to us getting up there because they said whoever it was, and I can go look and find the name, that said that house was locked up tight and that nobody was up there.
The person Sergeant Nordquist is referring to is Mike's nephew-in-law, Kane Mays, and it appears that both Mike and Kane are concerned about family members. Though the family dynamics are becoming tricky to keep up with for the sergeant, Mike is about to make one thing about Kane crystal clear.
Do you know a Kane Mays?
Yeah, I do know him. That's part of the problem.
Okay, so what's the problem there?
Okay, well, I think he's trying to keep us from going over the look. The house is owned by his father. Yeah, well, the owner of the house, okay, was Frank Beret, and he's deceased.
Frank is deceased.
Yeah. Victor, his brother, was living with him along with Kane's grandmother and his stepbrother, Killian.
As Mike continues explaining the complex family dynamics to the sergeant, one thing becomes clear. 3 people are missing, all close relatives of Mike and Kane. But before Mike leaves, there's something serious he needs to warn the sergeant about.
I'm going to get one of my deputies and we're going to go out to the address and see what we can see. See if we can find some.
Okay, let me give you some heads up. His dad had a lot of guns, Frank, before he died, and he taught Kane how to shoot. And when Kane came the other day, I didn't finish my story.
Huh?
When I pulled up there, okay, and I hollered out the window for Vic because the gate was closed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then a person comes to where I can see about this much of him, right? Up there. And I go, hey, Vic! And he goes, no, it's me, Kane. When he walks down to me, he's packed and he's armed. And I says, well, have you seen Victor? He says, no, nobody's up here.
Okay.
So I think if I were you, I would go up there with more than 2 guys. Because I think he knows how to shoot. And I don't know if there were any like rifles and stuff like that where he could be, but anyway, so I had his phone number. But then after I had his phone number, see, he had my phone number, he started texting me. Your grandmother's missing, your uncle's missing, your stepbrother's missing, right? And this is what he's talking to me about. He's a pathological liar, man. I think he's up to no good, I really do. You guys gotta be really careful.
He said he just got off the line with Sergeant Nordquist, or North. He never called us. Because we never contacted him.
It's becoming clear to the sergeant that something is off. Sensing this won't be a routine welfare check, Sergeant Nordquist takes note of Mike's concerns and prepares to head out to the house. What makes this case so unique isn't just the crime scene officers will soon walk into, but the way police have to piece it together, using advanced forensics and strategic elicitation to cut through the lies. And as the investigation unfolds, this will prove to be one of the most resource-intensive cases for everyone involved, with constant pressure, long hours, and difficult decisions at every step. Many of us deal with our own pressures and emotional struggles, and sometimes all it takes is talking to someone to begin working through them. There was a time when I got into a pretty bad argument with a close friend a while back, and it just stuck with me. I kept replaying it, what I said, what they said, whether I was in the wrong, and I didn't really have anyone I could talk to about it without it turning into a whole thing or someone picking sides. I just kept telling myself I'd get over it eventually, but eventually never really came. And at some point, I realized that having someone to talk to who's completely outside of your life, who can just give you a fresh perspective with no bias, makes a huge difference. That's why I've partnered with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Starting therapy can feel like a huge step, but BetterHelp actually makes it really simple. You take a short quiz, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime at no extra cost, which I think is huge because finding the right therapist makes all the difference. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Over 6 million people have used BetterHelp, earning it a 4.8 out of 5 rating on the App Store. Click the link in the description or go to BetterHelp.com/DrInsanity to get 10% off your first month. With that said, let's get back to the investigation. Approximately an hour after talking to Mike, Sergeant Nordquist and a group of officers head to the property to conduct a welfare check. Based on Mike's previous concerns, officers approach the house cautiously in case they encounter Kane.
I got an open door.
Sheriff's office! Sheriff's office, if you're in here, make yourself known! Sheriff's office! Stay here with Sarge. Stay here with Sarge. Got you.
Yeesh. Yeah, I was gonna say everything's stacked and piled.
Yeah.
You good? The doorknob was locked on this? Yeah. Literally, when I went like that, I was like, the door just kept going. I was like,
Puzzled by the home's disarray, officers leave after confirming no one is inside. With boxes stacked throughout the home and both of Victor's cars, the blue and green Subarus missing, officers assume the family may have moved out. In reality, the clutter wasn't accidental. It was intentionally staged to conceal evidence of foul play, and it has done exactly that. None of that is apparent now, so Sergeant Nordquist calls Mike on the phone to update him on the situation. This is where the two men will slowly start to pick up on just how sketchy this whole ordeal is.
Oh, sir. So we went up to that address. So we cleared the residence. There was nobody inside. There's no vehicles matching the descriptions of the Subarus you gave on the property. So, but there was no signs of a struggle, no signs of any foul play that we could determine. There were some boxes that appeared to be like being packed up, but other than that, that's all we got.
The thing is, all three people are missing that were staying there at the house. But definitely the king is the kicker. That he's the one that did all that. He called, got your name, and then he was able to send me that text saying that he spoke to you.
Yeah.
And then he called back later and canceled the deal, right?
Yes, sir. And on the face of it, it looks super sketchy, but there was no indication that we could see of any foul play or
a struggle or anything.
Struggle, yes, sir.
As the sergeant tries to reassure Mike, even he begins to wonder if the scene is hiding more than it appears. A few hours later that afternoon, Nordquist returns to the station and calls Kane, trying to understand why he canceled the welfare check and why, most strangely, no one was inside the house.
Hi, this is Sergeant Nordquist at the Sheriff's Office. Is this Mr. Mays?
Yes, sir. How are you?
The reason why I'm calling is in regards... earlier this morning, you had contacted our office to do a welfare check on a family member.
That's correct.
Who is that family member to you?
It's my grandmother.
Your grandmother? Who lives up there with your grandmother at the 121 No-Gal?
That would be an uncle of mine and my brother.
Do you have any information on them attempting to move anywhere?
I was told that my brother and my grandmother are planning to move soon.
So the reason why I'm calling is we went up to that address because Mr. Bleddy stopped by.
Yeah, he was the one who recommended that we give you guys a call. He seemed pretty upset. He was looking for Vic.
So we went inside the residence to make sure that nobody was hurt or injured. Nothing was broken into. We didn't see any signs of struggle or any signs of foul play. Did you text Mr. Bleddy at all today?
I mentioned that we stopped by and I had given you guys a call and everything was okay.
Well, who told you that everything was okay?
Dispatch coordinator. I don't remember her name.
Because the information that I got was that you called back and said you went up there and everything was okay.
Correct.
Now, what was in that text message to Mr. Bleddy? That's what I'm confused with.
I let him know that I had tried to call you, and the dispatch officer said that you were tied up with, it sounded like a pretty hostile situation.
The way the text message reads was that you had made contact with me, and I know for sure, and you know for sure that didn't happen, so that way it looked kind of weird.
Naturally, Nordquist doesn't know what to make of Kane's message to Mike, in which he seems to falsely claim to have spoken with the sergeant. Suspecting Kane is hiding something, Nordquist ends the call and immediately requests a search warrant for a second search of the house. While they wait for the warrant to be processed, all police can do now is hope the missing trio turns up safe. A hope that is far removed from the gruesome reality awaiting them just a few hours from now. Early on a Wednesday morning that week, around 10 a.m., something strange happens about 200 yards from the house where the trio vanished. A passerby takes notice and calls 911.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I'm phoning about there's a fire off into the mounds area. I called before about